He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but
Canelo Alvarez fires shots at Terence Crawford, declaring him too small and vowing to break him in a brutal beatdown. As their September 13th mega fight inches closer, the energy between the two might feel oddly respectful, but Canelo's sharp comment ignited fresh intrigue in a bout that had so far lacked the usual trash talk. While fight fans usually expect intense face-offs and cutting words in the lead-up to a clash of this magnitude, Canelo and Crawford have taken a different route. Calm, respectful, and almost friendly, leaving audiences both surprised and skeptical. Instead of fiery press conferences or backstage drama, fans got the unexpected when both fighters were seen dining together with Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority chairman, Turki Al Sheikh. The image was a peaceful one, not something you'd expect ahead of a bout billed as one of the biggest of the decade. However, despite the calm exterior, there's pressure building underneath, especially from those bankrolling the fight. Originally posted by Turki Al Sheikh on Instagram, showing Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford seated together at a formal dinner. The caption read, "Turki got Canelo and Terence Crawford to sit down for a respectful dinner prior to their bout in September." Turki Al Sheikh, the influential Saudi promoter behind the event, made it crystal clear he's not paying for a chess match. At a recent press conference, he set a high expectation for what he wants to see on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas: blood, bruises, and a war.
I will start with Crawford. Crawford coming to this fight, two-time undisputed champion, with the O in his record of losing. He dreamed to be the third time the undisputed champion. Second, it is Canelo who's fighting everyone. If you see the brilliant CV of Canelo in the last 20 years, he's in the ring, he fight everyone. And I don't think Canelo will give Crawford chance to beat him, especially if Crawford go 2 weight up.
For the millions invested into the undisputed super middleweight title showdown, he's demanding a spectacle. A calculated, quiet fight won't cut it. He insisted that both fighters bring their most aggressive selves into the ring, pushing for a brutal and unforgettable battle that justifies the global attention and financial backing.
And I need to mention why we choose Netflix. Netflix is the big platform. Second, if you ask about the numbers of the subscriber and the pay-per-view, let's see the record. In that time, in 2015, 2013, the internet and the piracy was not like now. Now is the best options to go with the big platform, and I think this fight we will have the big record around the world, and we will show the world what is real boxing. Especially Netflix, we will show them what is the real boxing.
While the demand for violence is typical in combat sports promotion, the pressure becomes more complicated when you consider Terence Crawford's fighting style. Known for his technical brilliance and constant movement, Crawford has never been one to brawl needlessly. Even in his most recent fight against Israil Madrimov, his approach was compared more to a strategic board game than a brutal clash. Crawford circled, moved, and picked his moments. It wasn't a fan-friendly slugfest, but a technical masterclass. And that's exactly why many believe this match could turn out more like a game of Tom and Jerry than the slugfest Turkey is paying for.
His Excellency, you said it many times now that you don't want any more of these Tom and Jerry fights where one fighter is chasing the other one. What is your plan to kind of stop these fights?
We will not have him anymore. This is the first thing. The second, we will have in this fight and the next fight bonus for KO.
Crawford, who is still undefeated with an impressive record of 41 wins, 30 of them by knockout, didn't take long to fire back. He openly rejected the idea of altering his style just to meet the expectations of a promoter. For him, boxing isn't about pleasing a crowd with reckless exchanges, it's about winning. He stated firmly that no one, regardless of status or investment, can dictate how he fights. Having dedicated his life to the sport, Crawford refuses to abandon the method that brought him success, just because someone wants more blood in the ring.
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running, you know, I could tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of.
This firm stance from Crawford raises a crucial question. Did Turki Al-Sheikh choose the wrong opponent for Canelo if he wanted an action-packed brawl? Crawford, now nearly 38 years old, isn't likely to reinvent himself overnight. He's a defensive wizard, not a toe-to-toe slugger, and expecting him to suddenly change into one might be unrealistic. For the average viewer, fights like his last one may lack drama, but purists respect the skill. Still, Crawford's refusal to change has made some fans question whether this fight will deliver on the violence that has been promised.
Listen, I call Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and you know, the Kovalevs and Triple Gs, and I wasn't able to get those mega fights. You know, so this is my mega fight. This is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight an all-time great like Canelo.
For Canelo, this criticism hits especially close to home. His last outing against Cuban fighter William Skull drew heavy backlash for being one of the most uneventful fights of the year. Skull's style involved lots of movement and very little engagement, frustrating Canelo and fans alike. That experience is fresh in everyone's minds, including Turki's, who specifically referenced his disdain for fights where boxers avoid exchanges.
If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but
it's
gonna be
them.
difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
And
night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's
All
gonna
right.
be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm
I see
different
you.
than.
Adding fuel to the fire, another name has re-entered the conversation, David Benavidez. A fighter who had long called for a match with Canelo, Benavidez once again accused him of ducking a real fight. In a recent interview, he doubled down on his claim that Canelo's entire camp is tainted by performance-enhancing drug scandals. According to Benavidez, if Canelo truly had confidence in himself, he wouldn't keep avoiding fighters like him. He pointed out the suspicious number of people from Canelo's team who have tested positive for banned substances and called the whole setup dirty.
If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off
You
the
think he's on
steroids.
steroids?
Of course.
Sure.
How does five
You saw De La Hoya
how do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids?
Right.
You know what I mean? All those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
These accusations, while not new, come at a tense time for Canelo. With the world watching his next move, the pressure isn't just coming from his critics or his opponent, it's also coming from the man paying the bills. But Canelo isn't one to show nerves.
He did that kind of fight. I still don't understand, but you know, I turn on the page and move forward because it's very deceptional. But it is what it is, you know. I hope Terence Crawford comes with other mentality and put everything that people enjoy the fight.
At 34, the seasoned champion recently said in an interview that he still plans to fight for at least another 3 or 4 years. He shared that his peak came around age 28 to 29, and while he's no longer in his absolute prime, he feels there's still plenty left in the tank. His goal is to enjoy life and family by age 37, but until then, he's not slowing down.
But it's all about confidence. It's all about the boxing IQ, and I have everything, so.
But look, your power is tremendous, and people think that you have one of the best chins all time, period. We've never seen you hurt. We saw you wobbled once, right, by Cotto's brother. That was a long, long time ago when you were a kid. Do you think Terence Crawford's gonna have enough power to gain your respect and keep you off of him?
No, obviously not. In my mind, I never think about that, you know. I'm a very strong fighter, and I never thinking about that. I just train my 100%, I do my job, and look, I think that is because I'm not there to take a punch, a really good punch, solid punch. I always move, block.
Still, one voice that won't let Canelo's path go unscrutinized is Oscar De La Hoya. The former boxing icon and promoter continues to offer his ever-changing takes on the fight. Recently, De La Hoya declared that Canelo would not only beat Crawford, but would remove him from the ring entirely.
Is the biggest fight of the decade. I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable. Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's gonna do to him? Run him out of the ring!
That statement didn't go unnoticed by Crawford, who responded with sharp skepticism. Crawford pointed out how De La Hoya constantly changes his opinion and questioned the credibility behind his statements. For him, all that talk means nothing until they actually fight. That's when, as Crawford said, all the questions will finally be answered.
Well, you know, when you see Oscar changing up his tone and his opinion every week, you know, it's hard to believe anything that he say. 1 minute, you know, he says this about Canelo, next minute he say that about Canelo. But that's why we fight, you know, so we can see if he's gonna run me out the ring, you know. So September 13th, everybody's questions will be answered.
Canelo Alvarez enters his next bout with full confidence, comfortably competing in his natural weight class after securing a points win over William Skull to unify the super middleweight titles once again. With his belts back in hand and a familiar division beneath his feet, he believes the size and strength advantage will be a major factor against Terence Crawford, a fighter known for skill and finesse more than raw power.
So that's why I'm excited. I'm excited to see how go that day. Is gonna be big, and I'm excited for that. That made me feel motivated to go in the training camp and put my best, and obviously this is very important for me, for my country, and I'm glad to be involved in this kind of things.
Canelo recognizes that Crawford is stepping up in weight and acknowledges the challenge that brings, but he draws from his own experience to downplay it. Having been both the underdog and the favorite at different times in his career, Canelo says the role doesn't matter, and what matters is staying disciplined and giving everything during training. His goal is clear: to win and do it convincingly.
Yeah, of course, he's a great fighter. You know, I'm being in that situation before, moving up in weight, 2 weight classes, 1 weight class, a lot of things, and you know, I'm not underestimate him. I know he's a good fighter, and he's gonna put his best in the training camp. But you know, every advantage I have, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, when I spoke to Terence Crawford earlier, he said that one of the things that impresses him most about you is that, like him, you know, you started at 147, right? You won your first title at 154, and really you're smaller than these 68 pounders, especially the 75 pounders you fought, and you still beat them all.
Yeah, sometimes it's not about power too. It's about the IQ, boxing IQ, and look, I always say I'm not smaller every single time, right?
On the other side of the matchup, Terence Crawford, already a champion across 4 weight divisions, is looking to add another monumental achievement to his legacy. He's heard the skepticism from critics who think he's biting off more than he can chew by taking on the bigger, stronger Canelo, but he doesn't seem fazed. In fact, he thrives on that doubt.
And I got a lot of Mexican supporters, you know, they love boxing. I got a lot of people that I grew up with as, you know, Latino, you know, so, you know, this is for the whole Mexican people that love me and support me.
Are you looking to rile Canelo up with these actions, do you think?
No, Canelo, you know what I mean, he cool, he ain't worried about that.
Do you feel like there's going to be any tension today and at the press conferences across this world tour?
I don't know. I don't put it past anything. It could not be.
And how do you feel at this weight? You're obviously bigger coming into this fight. This is the main talking point for a lot of people. How do you feel inspiring?
For Crawford, this isn't just a daring challenge. It's a homecoming. The bigger the stage, the more motivated he becomes. He's not setting any specific conditions for how he wins. His focus is on getting his hand raised, whether by outboxing Canelo or finding the opening for a finish. It's about proving people wrong and adding to a resume already packed with major accomplishments.
I'm looking forward to it having its own, you know, history. You know, the Canelo and Crawford history, and it's going to be solidified as one of the greatest moments of my career.
A lot of the boxing talk when it comes to this fight is the talk that you're possibly the favorite in it. Do you see yourself as that? Do you see yourself as the underdog? Do you want to have that mentality? What's your feeling about Canelo?
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Still, Canelo has made it clear he's expecting a defining moment in his storied career. Despite acknowledging Crawford's skills, the Mexican superstar believes the fight will rank among the best performances of his life. For him, this isn't just another payday or title defense. It's a test of everything he's built over years at the highest level. He's driven not just by championships, but by a personal desire to dominate, and he remains focused on the thrill of winning. That passion, he says, hasn't faded. He loves boxing and views this fight as an opportunity to show just how much he still has to offer.
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
and
night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
And there you have it. 2 champions, 2 legacies, 1 historic collision. Canelo believes his power and experience will be too much, while Crawford is fueled by doubt and ready to silence the world. It's more than a fight. It's a battle of pride, pressure, and purpose. If you're ready for the war that's about to unfold, like, comment, and share your predictions below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a moment from the heart of combat. This is Ring Rivalry, where the fight begins long before the first punch is thrown. See you at the bell.